Hello and welcome to another lesson. Today's lesson is about solving inequalities. Please make sure you pause and take good notes. Here's the first slide. The objective for this lesson. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to write, solve, and find solutions for problems involving inequalities. So here we go. Here's your vocabulary for the lesson. So we have inequality. Please make sure you pause this video and write this in your notebook now. So an inequality means not equal. So you've seen this before. This part of the word, inequality, right? Just like an equation has an equal sign. So an inequality means that they are not equal. The two sides are not equal. So this is like the opposite almost of an equation because the two sides are not equal. Unless, of course, it has an equal to sign, which you'll see in the next slide. So the word means they are not equal, and so this means there will be multiple solutions for the variable. So when we have a variable, that means there will be multiple solutions. And so here's a couple examples of inequalities. We have 4 is greater than, because this is a greater than sign, 2, and then we also have -7 is less than -1. Please make sure this is in your notebook. All right, here's the next slide. Here's some inequality symbols. So we have less than, and remember you can use your left hand. So this is with your left hand. Use your left hand and make the less than sign like you're making an L with your thumb and your second finger. So use your left hand to make the less than sign. And so that's how you can tell which one is the less than. And then the greater than is obviously the other way around. So less than, use your left hand. Greater than is the other way. So you need to make sure this is all in your notebook. Here's 2 more symbols. These are also inequality symbols. This means less than or equal to. So we write it like this. It looks just like a less than sign, except it has an extra line underneath. So this means that it is less than or equal to. Okay? And so this goes the other way. This is greater than or equal to. Okay? So they are very similar to this, but these are not equal to the other side. They are just less than or greater than. Okay, if you need to pause to write this down, please make sure you do. Here's the next slide. Okay, here's the problem number 1. So we are solving for an inequality. So we are going to use the balancing method like we have been. So we want to isolate this variable, the y. And so to isolate it, we know that for y we are multiplying. So we are going to do the inverse, which is dividing. So we are going to divide both sides by 4 because whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. This cancels this out, the 4 and the 4, so we just have our y left. So we have y is greater than, this is the greater than sign, 16 divided by 4 is 4, and so the solution is y is greater than 4. So what this means is that y can equal 5, it can equal 6, it can equal 10. Anything that is greater than 4, it can equal. Okay? So y cannot equal, this is not equal to, y is not equal to 4 or anything less than 4. So we can say 3, 2, 1, we can say 0, any negative numbers, -1. Okay, so it is not equal to any of these numbers. Okay, so it can be greater than 4, it cannot be less than 4. This is what this means. Here's the next slide. Problem number 2, this is another solving for the inequality. So this is a 2-step problem. So we've done problems like this too. So first we have to get rid of whatever is on the side with the variables. So we can get rid of this section first. So plus 2 4/10, we can do the inverse. So that's negative or minus 2 4/10. So we do it on both sides. Okay, so this crosses, this cancels it out. All we have left is 2x is less than or equal to, when we subtract, what do we get? 6 minus 4 is 2. bring down our decimal. 2 minus 2 is 0, and bring down our 4. So we have 40 and 2/10. So like the problem before, this is multiplication. This is 2 times x. So in order to get rid of it, we do the inverse, which is division. We divide both sides by 2. This cancels this out. We still have our x. Let's rewrite it. Less than or equal to, and 40 and 2/10. I'm going to do my math over here, and you should do this in your notebook. I want to see all your work in your notebook. Okay, 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, we get 0. Bring down our 0. 2 does not go into 0. We have to bring up our 0, and I need to bring up my decimal point. And 2 goes into 2 one time. Okay, and I can subtract. I have 0 remainder. So my solution is 20 and 1/10. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 20 and 1/10. So that means x can equal 20 and 1/10, and anything less than that. So it can equal 20, it can equal 19 and 9/10. X cannot be equal to, however, it cannot be equal to 20 and 2/10 because that is greater than 20 and 1/10. Okay, it can't be equal to 21. Okay, so all this needs to be in your notebook. If you need to pause this video, make sure you do and write this down. Here's the next slide. Here's the third problem. Which of the following gives a set of numbers, that are all solutions of the inequality x plus 6 is less than 9? So we need to look at all our numbers in every set and see if they are all solutions of this inequality. So we can use substitution here. So if we look, let's look at A. Well, we know, let's cancel out whatever is not possible. So let's look at the biggest numbers, right? So we know that this is going to be a small number. So it needs to be less than 9. So we know that if we plug in 3, then 3 plus 6 is not less than 9. It's equal to 9, but it's not less than 9. Because if 3 plus 6 equals 9, so 9 is not less than 9, it is equal. So it has to be less, anything less than 3. So right off the bat, we can cancel out D. It is not D. We can look at C. Well, we have 6 and we have 3, so it cannot be C. Can it be B? Well, we have our 3 here. 3 plus 6 is not less than 9 because it is equal to, cannot be B. So our solution must be A. And we can check to make sure our solution is correct, and we can just plug in all these numbers. So you can do negative 10 plus 6, is that less than 9? Yes. Negative 7 plus 6, is that less than 9? Yes. Negative 2 plus 6, is that less than 9? Yes. And negative 1 plus 6 is less than 9, that equals 5. So make sure if you need to rewatch this section, please make sure you do. Here's the next problem. So is h equal to 8 a solution of the inequality h minus 2 is greater than 6? Justify your answer. So this is a problem you will see in class. So if 8 is equal to h, then that means that we're going to plug in 8 as h. And we're going to write in the rest of it. 8 minus 2 is 6. Okay, so we need to read this inequality now. So this reads, and say it with me, 6 is greater than 6. So is that true? Is this a solution, h equals 8, to this inequality? And you need to explain why. So we can say that because they are then equal, both sides are equal, this is not a solution to this inequality, because this makes this inequality equal. It does not make them unequal, not equal. Okay, so it's not an inequality. We could say that h can equal 9 because that would be greater than 6, because that equals 7. So we can say that 9 can be a solution. Anything greater than 8 is a solution, but not 8. Okay, so you need to learn how to justify this and learn how to write it in your notebook. So try it now, pause the video and try it. Okay, let's try the next slide. Here's number 5. In order to get your driver's permit in the state of New Jersey, you must be at least 16 years old. write an inequality to represent the situation. So let's write an inequality. So you must be at least or greater than 16 years old. So this is kind of like if you go to the amusement park and you need to be a certain height to ride a ride, right? So this is very similar to that kind of problem where you need to be at least a certain number. So you must be at least 16 years old. So x, or whatever variable you choose, you must be at greater than 16, greater than or equal to, you can be 16. So you need to be greater than or equal to 16. So let's read it and see if it makes sense. So you must be, whatever it is, it needs to be greater than or equal to 16. So this is the correct inequality to represent the situation. Okay, if you need to pause and rewatch this section, please make sure you do. And if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you ask about this because you need to know how to write an inequality. Here we go. So, recapping our objective. So by now, you should be able to write, solve, and find solutions for problems involving inequalities. And if you can't do all these three things, then you need to go back and rewatch all the problems that we went through, or each problem. If you don't know how to write, you need to go to that section. If you don't know how to solve, you need to go to that section. And if you can't find the solution, you need to go to problem number 4, because that was the problems where we did that. Okay, and here is your homework for tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!